Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Hello, I'm Linnetta,
And I'm Patrick.
and we are co-founders of
Vertical Connections, Inc.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for being here today. Today we wanted to just start off with a story on this special day, and
Proverbs 22:1 is the scripture I want to lead us off with.
ooh, nice.
A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold.
Ooh, that is good. I love Proverbs 22:1, just because it does bring it all into connection with us, with what we're talking about today in our story. And in the story, it involves a time that was pretty rough for our family, as the patriarch, my father, passed away. And we were sitting at the farm around the table, and we were just coming up with some different checklists of things that we needed to take care of, and who we needed to talk to, who we needed to connect with, so that we could just make that a little easier. And after we made our checklist and we made those connections, my mom came up with this idea of a jar. And the jar came up because we were thinking of all the scenarios of when people would come to the farm and visit to give their condolences. And so often, somebody would always say, in the past, we've always heard them say,
How can I help?
"What can I do for you? If there's anything I can do, please let me know." And we came up with, "Why, yes, there is. Thank you for asking."
Oh.
Yeah. And it was at one point it was just to help make things easier for us and to make it a little more lighthearted, but it was also true in the sense of, if people really wanted to offer, we had suggestions already written out, and we just thought it would make it easier.
And sticking with your what you're gonna do means a lot, right?
It truly
A great
does.
name. All right.
Some of those things that we came up with on the farm.
Paint the cob house.
Oh yes, that was definitely something that needed to be done.
Oh wow.
We came up with
Mow the lawn. On the farm, I bet that would be a big attribute of help.
yes. Dad passed away in December, so we were setting ourselves up so that we had that taken care of already for when the springtime came, and all they had to do was follow through.
A good name. Let's see.
One more maybe.
Oh wow. Fix Dad's tire.
Oh yes. One of the things when Dad was sick, it seemed like no one really drove his car, and so of course the tires went down. And my mom, one thing that was always on her mind was that car wasn't available to be used. And she had her own car, but she still thought, oh, wouldn't that be nice to have that running, and wouldn't he be proud that we took care of it? So those were just some things that we came up with, and we just thought that we would share that story with you. So anytime you're in that position and you're just trying to figure out what to say to someone, that a jar like, "What can I do for you?" will be prepared and ready.
Yeah, breaks up that awkwardness.
Yes.
Gets right to the point. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I just thought so too. And then that just kind of leads into some of our reading about John the Apostle. He and his brother James were known as the Sons of Thunder. Or that was the nickname Jesus gave them right away. And that was because their ways were definitely one that would carry his word out, but they also felt as if they were the only ones that could do that. So they were putting themselves above others who were doing the same thing that they were doing, sharing the word, but they wanted to have that status.
Mm-hmm.
So, as time went on and they followed Jesus, we know that John became known as the Apostle of Love.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Love and truth.
Mm-hmm.
Truth and love
Yes.
are two virtues we should all possess
Absolutely.
and share.
Mm.
Very good. Keeping them balanced, though, it can be a challenge.
Oh, it can. So many times we find where people will be caring and loving, but they're not always truthful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I am one that I prefer the truth over fake, false love. I truly would just prefer to have the truth and let me deal with it. You know, sometimes I might receive it and sometimes I might be like, oh. Sometimes I might walk away and think, you know what, they were right, and I'll come back to that conversation. But I, for one, want truth first.
Absolutely. And then others might be full of truth and know the doctrine really well and be able to share the meaning of that word, but they deliver it in a way that is not too soothing.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes with the word, it's gonna hurt our flesh. That's just plain and simple. It's not going to be something we always like to hear because our flesh loves to fight against truth. Mm-hmm. It's just the way it is. So it's not always going to be loving and kind, but we still need to have that delivery that's more delivery. Yes, compassionate delivery.
Yeah, I know that when people will come to me, I'm a person who might like the compassion side while that truth is being delivered. And I know that there are times that my personality would be one that if I feel like, oh man, I'm just being attacked, woe is me, let's throw up a barrier.
Oh yeah.
Close my ears, and then I miss out on some of the most important lessons. And that's how it was in the beginning. And when I was younger, I would just shut down and say no, or I wouldn't even know what they said. But it was not good. And I know I missed out on so much because looking at where I'm at today, receiving the truth, and then allowing myself to process that truth can also lead to better things.
I would say as adults, we've come a long way.
Yes.
Definitely. And we have more to grow, but recognizing that we do have that goal to reach for, that's excellent.
Mm-hmm. And I love how you started off with Proverbs and saying that a good name should be chosen over great riches, because I think so many times we overlook the opportunity to be that good example, to be honest, and to do things for others, whether there's someone around or not, because we know that God is omnipresent. And so even if we don't see any human beings around us, we know that spiritual beings are definitely with us.
Mm-hmm. A great name, a good name. I'm thinking of when you see, when you open and close the door for someone else.
Oh, yes. That's a great example.
Sometimes I tease Patrick and I say, oh, are you going to open my door for me? There's people watching.
And it's so true. It's so funny. It's like, oh, you don't know. Somebody might be watching. So I've got to go and make sure I open that door. But it's also out of respect.
Yes.
Out of kindness. Yes. Out of making sure that she knows that she's important to me. And that doing this is more than a courtesy. It's an act of love. Mm-hmm. But we so many times have seen on TV when these stars come driving up in the limousine and somebody walks up and opens the door for them and they come out all smiles, and you can see it's a big deal.
Yes, an added touch.
Yes.
Right? It's not because my hands are broke or I can't open the door myself, but some of that traditional love.
Yes. And then likewise, if you try this sometime, please just see what kind of reaction you get when you do it, because we have a friend that we take to church with us once in a while, and I remember the first time that I got out of the car and I opened her door for her, and she looked at me and she just goes, oh my.
Very, very happy.
And here I am thinking that is just what
Part of
is
what you
supposed to
do.
be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she acted as if, she was royalty.
And she should feel that way. She's been on this earth
Absolutely.
for 79 years.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Way past time.
Right. So we just wanted to reach out, make sure that we continued that message of actions speak louder than words. Because
Absolutely.
when you show people, they truly feel it as well as see it.
Very good.
We thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe,
Like.
share with as many people as you can. And we just are blessed that you're with us today.
Are you ready, sir?
Are you ready?
Let's go. See you next time.
Bye.